Hey everyone, this is Pharaoh Silver, the Pharaoh of Beer Money Finance, and this is the inaugural Beer Money Engine Monthly Challenge. So I'll be doing this every 2 to 3 months or so. The plan for it is that I want to develop a little bit psychologically healthier habits for myself and for you all as well. So I'll do my best to no longer go super hardcore, at least, not entirely anyways. We're still going to do stuff like that. I'm going to have like personal finance videos, and I'm going to get back to that in the months that I don't do the challenges. However, for this month, I am doing this challenge, and I thought I would start with the theme of passive income because a lot of people have been asking about passive income. So here's the problem though. Passive income, just straight up fully passive income, like set it and forget it, is very, very hard to come by. All right. There's only 2 apps that I know that you can get any sort of passive income as at all, I should say. And that is Kadon. So Kadon is a set it and forget it. You just link your accounts and you're done. However, you need enough data to give to them in order to cash out at all. And if you don't have enough data, then they pretty much, it's pretty much just wallpaper on your iPhone. The other one is Atlas Earth, but this is with a caveat that if you go fully passive on Atlas Earth, that is, you just set it and forget it, and you just come back in a couple months, the amount that you will earn is minimal. It is nowhere near as much as if you actually stay at least semi-active and you try to, I'd say 3 to 4 times a day, boost and get the free money off of that, of the boosts, basically, and just watch ads. You don't even have to do the 2 Atlas bucks or 1 Atlas buck per ad. You just literally just have to boost. I'd say, a set of ads of 6 to 8 ads every, I'd say 2-3 times a day, as I said. Yeah, something like that. 2, 3, 4 times a day. So those are the only 2 that I know where you have actual fully passive income. That's not going to make a good challenge, obviously, because the amount I would make is like nothing and would barely get me a candy bar. So we're going to do semi-passive income. So what is semi-passive income? Semi-passive income is income that you pretty much go out and do your daily things and you will get cash back for it. So things like walking, things like watching ads. I would say watching ads would also take like so little effort that I would count that as semi-passive income. Cashback on purchases and things like that. So that is what this challenge is going to be. And you can see all the different apps that I have here. I have 11 in total that I will be doing as part of this challenge. And I'm going to go through each one here. The first one is Benjamin. Now, when I add an app on this one, the only amount of money that I'm going to count is what I earn from ads. So if I happen to play a game on Benjamin and it costs like it gets me, I should say not costs, but gets me like $10.50, I cannot count that $10.50 into this tracker. I can only count the money that I earn from ads and the daily bonus. That's it. Oh, and purchases as well, because I do get cash back, 0.16% cash back on Benjamin. Similar with Bridge. Now with Bridge, I do have the Earn Plus membership, and I know that a lot of people don't have the Earn Plus membership, but if I'm going to be doing this challenge properly, I need to use what I got. So I am going to go ahead and use the Earn Plus membership, and whatever I earn from that, plus the ads, plus the transactions, that is going to go into this total right here. Now with Atlas Earth, the semi-passive income in this case is boosting for ads. Now this is going to be the one where, this is going to be the only one I should say, where I am going to take whatever I earn from like active stuff. So like when I do mini games and all that, I'm going to go ahead and count the Atlas bucks that I get from that, and I buy parcels and add that to my total here. Now part of that is because it's kind of what I do, guys. This is kind of partially my job. My job, like Atlas Earth, is like half of the videos and has recently been close to like 80% of the videos I've done on here. So that's the reason why I'm going to add that as part of the challenge. And yes, that will count as the super rent boosts as well. So you can expect this to really start moving up sometime around next week. Now, for the remaining ones here, I'm going to skip Cashwalk for a little bit. Let me go to Pogo. So with Pogo, all right, this one I'm going to have not scanning receipts. So Pogo, you can scan receipts for points, but only the ones that are automatic purchases. And the daily bonus, of course, like watching ads and all that. Now, again, the reason why I put watching ads into the semi-passive category is because it is super simple. All you got to do is just leave your phone on, set an ad, don't even look at it. You can come back, you can come back 10, 15, 20 minutes later. Just close the ad, go back and do another one and keep doing that. And, just every time you're reminded, it's really easy. It's low effort. It's easy. That's why I'm adding it to this. Now, the next little bit is walking. So walking is obviously going to be a semi-passive thing. Honestly, it's probably closer to passive. But I know some people, would like to rest and not walk or anything. And especially the way that I'm going to do it, that requires me to place the phone on a phone swing to fill out the steps. I'm going to add on the steps accordingly. So the 3 apps I'm using for the walking portion of this challenge is Cashwalk, WalkTask, and WeWard. Now, at the very end, I'm going to subtract the cost that I put in for the phone swing, which I believe is $14.99, to this to come up with the total. Now, the phone swing is supposed to be a tool that's normally used. I think a lot of people who play Pokemon Go use it to hatch eggs. These apps don't really care about, how you get the steps, because you're not paying for the steps, you're paying for the ads that you watch. So, for example, with Cashwalk, every 700 steps, you get a banner ad. With WalkTask, every 4,000 steps or so, you get a full video ad. WeWard is a weird one, though, because I don't think I've ever actually gotten any ads out of WeWard. So I'm not quite sure how is there a way that, do they get monetized for collecting walking data? I'm actually kind of curious about that one, but I have noticed that WeWard, I haven't gotten any ads, but it's also the one that I get paid the least. So that kind of makes sense, actually. So that's for these 3. This last one here, so I wanted 1 too for driving, and I had 3 options for driving. My options were Nadix, Demo, and GeoSmile. Demo requires a device that by the time it got here, this challenge would probably have already been over. Now, I could get the crypto out to Coinbase, unlike Nadix, where I only can put that crypto out to my Coinbase wallet, and then I have to find an exchange, and it gets really complicated. So I didn't want to do that. I think a lot of it also required Ethereum gas fees, which also could increase the costs, and I'm trying to keep the costs as little as possible. So that left me by default with GeoSmile. And with GeoSmile, it's very simple. You fill up a tank, and then you watch an ad after you fill up a tank, and then you can get anywhere between half a cent to as much as $1, or is it $10? I think it could be as much as $10. It's 100,000 coins, and 10,000 coins to $1. Yeah, so I went ahead with GeoSmile. So that's the end of the activity stuff. Let's move on to the cashback part. So obviously, cashback is semi-passive. Passive in the sense that you can get money back in your sleep, but semi-passive because it requires money to make the money. So, for example, we got Upside here. Now, Upside, you can get cash back on gas and restaurants and sometimes groceries, I should say. Not always. I think they only have like 1 or 2 grocery sponsors. Basically, it's cash back on the necessities. And yes, restaurants count as a necessities for a lot of people. Matter of fact, when I was single, I had to go out and eat like twice a day at least. So, having that cash back there, yeah, I consider restaurants a necessity. I am not very good at cooking, and that's the reason why I would go out to eat at fast food restaurants and all that when I was younger. That was my younger days. I don't nearly do near as much now. My wife has made sure of that. So anyway, that's Upside. And then, of course, the gas, because gas is a necessity for most of us with cars. I have to get to work somehow, right? So I'm going to throw that in there as well. The second one is Swag Bucks. Now, with Swag Bucks, I'm going to add the caveat that the only money that I'm going to get back is money that I get from purchasing cash back on certain grocery items. So you see here, I'm just going to give an example here. The $5.02 is off a receipt of the Jimmy Dean honey butter chicken biscuits. So yes, they got that back for 500 swag bucks if you buy 2. That is $5. The remaining 2 cents, that was bananas. So yeah, 2 cents on bananas basically. And basically they'll have these little things where you can do like milk is 2 cents, butter is 2 cents, chicken is 2 cents, and so on. A post-recording correction here. I had to take Swagbucks out because I realized that the Magic Receipts does require you to upload a receipt to Swagbucks, and that is not a passive task. I mean, it's an easy task to do, but sometimes you might forget. I know I tend to forget. It takes a lot of effort, actually, to get those receipts into the multiple apps that I do, but that counts as receipts, all right? That is technically cash back, but that is not something that is passive. Now, the reason why I'm keeping Upside on here is because the places I'm going to go to will allow me to claim and choose my credit card automatically, so I don't have to upload any receipts with them. What I will do, however, is if they don't give me credit for it and they require me to upload a receipt, then I will simply just let that go. But so far, I have not had a problem with that with Upside. So since Upsides is automatic, they are going to stay. I'm still going to have credit cards and everything else is the same. So just ignore what I just said about Swagbucks. All right, now we're going to go back to the video. And finally, the credit cards. So this one is going to have mostly zeros because I'm only going to get them as I get the cash back. But only 2 credit cards are going to count on this one. I'm going to get the purchases for my Citi Double Cash card and the Sam's Club credit card. I mentioned both of these on the channel. They are my big 2. I want to go down to the costs here. I want to mention that this negative $9.58, and yes, I have costs here as well, but y'all know $54.99 is the annual cost for the Explorer Club and Challenge Pass. That's the pro rata monthly. And $4.33 is the pro rata monthly for the yearly Bridge Earn Plus membership. This is the pro rata for the Sam's Club Plus membership. And yes, that is required. A Plus membership is required to get the 5% cash back on the Sam's Club purchases and gas, I believe. Or is the gas one 5% regardless? No, it is. I think it is 5% on. Either way, I'm going to go ahead and count that cost in there. And of course, one more cost here I will add on is the negative $14.99 for the phone swing that I bought, plus tax. So I probably should make that even. I'll go back and take a look at how much I actually paid for it because it might have been close to like $16. But it was $14.99 before tax for that phone swing, and it will be added on here to the final total. And as you can see, I will tally every single day, and at the end of May 31st, I will tally this all up, and I will have a total. And that total, that is how much money that we're going to do for our little outing that we're going to have in June. And I have a couple ideas on where to go. I haven't figured out, I thought I had pretty much set up where I wanted to go before I set up this video. Matter of fact, the original script, I knew exactly where I was going to go, but we might be changing that. We'll see what happens. So it's going to be downtown Kannapolis still. The Kannapolis Concord area, I should say. So I will let you know when we get to that video in June. If you want to see me, if you want to see my progress, I am going to put up regular videos on Patreon for Beer Money Insiders. However, if I get enough likes on this video, let's go with 75 likes. If I get 75 likes on this video, I will do an update later this month and show you guys where I go with the progress. So let me know. 75 likes for that. If you like the video, give it a like. Comment on what you think about this and also how you did in April, because with the Beer Money Portfolio Month in Review going away, we also have lost the comment sections question of how you did for the month. So that way you can keep track of your own kind of beer money journey as well for the month. So I want to do that with these challenges. How did you do in the month of April? Let me know. And don't forget to subscribe to Beer Money Engine. Hopefully this does allow us to adopt healthier habits and also letting you guys see that beer money is very much not just like something that you do continuously like I do. I mean, this is my, my part-time job now, but that it can be a start-stop thing as well. We just do it for a month, then we want to take a break, go out and do other stuff. You get that urge again to make a little bit more cash, come back for a month, and do that. So now you see why I wanted to do this challenge. Hopefully it all makes sense. And a big thank you to all my patrons. You've been seeing on the screen now for the last minute or so. So thank you. And I will see you all in the next video. This is Pharaoh Silver signing out. Bye, everybody.